Have you ever thought about running a log splitter off of a diesel engine? Well, I'm here to tell you, you can. This 168F diesel, I purchased it off of Amazon to repower my log splitter. My old engine was getting tired. It was giving me a lot of issues that wasn't worth putting any money in. So I took this engine and pulled the, when I got it in, I pulled the dipstick out. It had some nasty looking oil looking stuff. I don't even know what you'd call it on the dipstick. So I decided I better take it apart, clean this thing up, inspect everything, and put it back together. So that's just what I did. You guys are more than welcome to check out my videos on how I prepared this engine to be put to daily use. I don't think that it would have fared very well if you don't disassemble it, clean it, and retorque things as necessary. But in this video, I do have the engine fully prepped and ready to go, and I'm mounting it to the log splitter using some rubber isolators, putting my hour meter on it. I'm also going to go ahead and hook it up to my hydraulics and start working this thing. The little stack of wood you see in front of me, that's after its first hour of use. I like running this particular engine at about 2,800 RPMs. Setup, it does very well. So far I'm impressed with it. Now it's got about an hour. Next time I run it, I'm going to go ahead and change oil in it, flush it out real quick. Even though I did clean it out, I like to do that with pretty much any small engine. And we're going to put this thing through its paces, and over time I'll get kind of a chance to see what kind of fuel it uses, how reliable it is, and we'll keep you guys updated from time to time. Enjoy the video. I'm going to be mounting it on rubber bushings onto the log splitter. And then this tape, T-Rex, never tried it. I've always mounted hour meters fixed. Now I prefer the hardline hour meters. I'll give you a good close-up of this thing. I've used these hour meters on motorcycles and other machines for years and years. They have been very reliable overall. So, and normally I'll hard mount these things when I can, especially on an engine like this. However, the T-Rex claims that it will hold 45 pounds in all temperatures. Let me see. Temperature range, -40 to 200 degrees. I'm really curious to see how this does. And it holds 45 pounds. And the little old hardline hour meter, maybe a few grams. So we'll get this thing going. And we're going to attach it with that and see if that stuff actually works. So that's going to be today's main progress, because I have waited to do almost any running of the engine until my hour meter come in, because I really want to track to see how this thing does in the long term for you guys. In the process of beginning to mount the engine onto my log splitter permanently, I wanted to go with rubber isolators. I ordered some 10mm isolators. Well, the upper motor mounts, which are motor mount holes, which are not ones, I'm not actually planning on using those. The 10mm mounts fit well. I'm actually wanting to use these holes for my particular purpose, this one and this one. And both of those, there's just enough casting left and flashing inside the holes that my 10mm mount won't go all the way through. So I'm getting ready to go ahead and drill those out. I'm going to be using a 3/8 drill bit and just lightly scuff those out until my mounts will fit in there. Okay, got those cleaned out now with the flashing, and now I just need to do the remainder holes. All right, now that I've got the holes drilled out and to where these will slip in, all I'm doing is taking them, slipping them in, and putting the nut on the back side. I'm gonna leave all of them pretty loose so we can sit them in the frame of the log splitter. I don't want to, that way I can move them around a little bit. I'm sure they'll need to be moved to center it up some. This particular set came with 15 millimeter. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten these down pretty snug. They also came with our serrated nuts, and those work pretty good. Went ahead and got a little carburetor cleaner, cleaned off the back of this, and I cleaned off over here where I'm going to install it. As I'm cutting the tape, I'm going to cut it. You'll notice we have a mounting hole here and a mounting hole here. I'm going to cut it just to the insides of those. That way that tape can lay pretty flat. Okay, you can see where I laid that tape. I'm going to push it on my... We'll put a lot of pressure on there and try to get that thing stuck on there pretty good. That tape still is a little bit lower. It's almost, actually, it's about flush with my actual hour meter. So I'm going to go ahead and put another layer on there. Peel that off. I'm going to cut another layer. Sticking to that first layer now, and the tape's pretty gummy. It's kind of a odd texture to it. It's a real gummy tape. Be very interested to see how this works. You're supposed to apply it over 50 degrees, I believe is what the instructions said, and I took my temperature laser thermometer, and it's running about 78 out here in the sun, so it should be pretty good. All right. Now, got this thing, ease it in place, but make sure I got it right side up. I'm just gonna kind of push pretty hard and work that thing around a few times and see if, well, it's stuck pretty good. It would be real interesting to see if it does, how it does long term. Yeah, it's holding pretty solid. So okay, what I'm gonna do now, you have to push that in and hold it, and you hold it for a few seconds and it'll reset. It'll start counting. You'll see how it said like off 2.5. There it goes. Now I believe it's set. And what that does is it allows the vibration to make it start working pretty easily. So I may go ahead and take like a piece of fishing line or something like that and run it through there and attach it to this engine somewhere, or a little fine piece of wire. That way if it vibrates off, I don't lose my hour meter. So I'm kind of testing this tape too. I do a lot of stuff outside with, I'd like to use some good outdoor tape, but I hadn't found any yet, so we're gonna give this a try. I ordered a 20 millimeter coupling to fit the shaft of this engine, and I actually ordered the wrong one, so when it came in it didn't fit. So I went ahead and just took the one that was off of the other engine I had, which was 3/4, and threw it in my lathe and just machined it down. It wouldn't but about 30 thousandths off. After I did that, I took a small file and opened up the key weight ever so slightly so that the 5 millimeter key would fit in the coupling, and it worked great. Getting real excited to see how this thing handles a real piece of equipment. I've just about have this thing done. I need to tighten up that coupling, get it into place, and get this thing ready to go. Tightening down the final set screw. All right, we're getting ready to fire this thing up, see if it'll actually work. It hadn't been started in several days, but today's a nice, fairly warm day. It got down in the 30s last night, but right now it's about 55, 60 degrees outside. So let's see how she does. I've already got the fuel set on because I've made my kill switch to where I can leave my fuel set pretty much where I want it.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Please subscribe and hit the notification button. I've got several other videos that I'm going to be beginning to put out. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and maybe it'll help you guys decide if you want to go diesel on some of your projects that use a small engine. Thanks a lot.